Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah ta'ala, we're gonna get started here real soon. Like if you're watching this on YouTube, so like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. Um, Facebook, like, share, inshallah ta'ala. We got a very relevant topic. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. I'm getting sick, so my voice um is not as strong as it normally is. But alhamdulillah, we gonna roll on. I haven't lost my voice yet. Inshallah, like and share. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm gonna try to go for about 30, 40 minutes. And uh, then we will, if there's questions and comments, we'll address them. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Malika. Show some love to the brother. We have to create our own Islamic algorithm. So the more you like, the more you share and comment on Assalamu alaikum, Sister Daniqua. The more you like, the more you share, the more you comment. Of course, as y'all know, that creates an algorithm. Excuse me, it creates an algorithm. And this is the algorithm of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So we want to, we want to reinvent that influence. So, inshallah ta'ala, y'all believe that this is good, good content, good topics and good content. I try to stay with relevant topics and relevant uh, content. Okay, inshallah ta'ala, we will get started. Bismillah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال الله تعالى واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال الله تعالى اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. So we got a very, 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 very serious topic. Um, Let me first disclaimer and disclosure. This so the topic is about a sister that has gone viral for allegedly leaving Islam. Allegedly, I don't know the sister. I haven't spoken to her. I don't know many people who know her. I know people who know of her. Um, I mean, the post that she made is going viral all through the Muslim world, and it's going viral for the wrong reason, which is the only reason I'm making this video. This video is not an attack on on the sister, and we all pray that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala takes her out of this hard time that she's in, obviously, and that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala uh, puts her on the Sirat al Mustaqim, and that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala keep her and us on the Sirat al Mustaqim. I mean, and I pray that she doesn't. If she sees this, I'm sure somebody's gonna send it to her. But if she sees this, I hope she doesn't see it as an attack, and I hope she sees it as nasiha, and it is nasiha for me first, and then for everybody else as well. This is nasiha. This is all this is. This is not an attack. And what I'm going to speak on is not relevant to her particular situation. I don't know what pushed this sister over the edge. I wish I knew, and I wish I could say or do anything that would help the sister get back on the Surat al-Mustaqim. But I'm pretty sure it's either exactly what I'm going to elaborate on, or it's something like it, something around it, something in that neighborhood, something of that nature. I'm pretty sure. I've been doing dawah, tabligh, and ta'aleem for a very long time. And I've seen a lot in Islam. I've seen a lot. So I just wanted to make that clear that this is not a diss record to the sister. This is not exposing her. I don't go the whole Wahhabi route when they try to smear campaign people, especially sisters. I don't do that. But this is so I was alerted about the post twice. Uh, and I want to be careful what I say because I don't want to misquote anybody or I want to misquote anything about her in particular. But what compelled me was when the information came to me that number one, this sister is a leader or an admin. Oh, let me say this. If any of y'all know who I'm talking about, don't tag her name. Maybe if you want her to see this, as now see how I send it to her afterwards. But she might feel a kind of way if y'all tag her name or if somebody say her name in the comments, because I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna try to ruin her reputation or demean her honor in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Uh, and honestly, I'm gonna speak generally because her allegedly leaving Islam is for a enumeration of factors that a lot of our women deal with. And I think I feel compelled to say something now. Uh, Getting back into what I was saying, I felt, and I feel compelled to say something because I'm seeing it individually too much. And when this sister is like she was an admin in a very popular Salafi sisters group, very popular, like 1,300 people in the group. So she holds, and I've known about the sister before this whole scandal, but um, I've always heard like good things about her. Like she was influential. The group is good. The Salafi sisters group is good. It attracts a lot of sisters. There's different groups of sisterhood in the group. They have a good support system. I've heard only good things. So it's very surprising that she would be one of the admin of that group, and she would be in a very low place in her Islam. Like, share, and subscribe too. If y'all watching on YouTube, Facebook, or y'all coming over from Instagram, like, share, and subscribe. These are relevant topics that we need to discuss within our community. So, and drop a comment, even if it's just a salam alaikum. And I'm gonna get to the comments. I don't want anybody to feel like if they comment, I don't address the comments. I'm gonna address as many as I possibly can because I'll be watching some live streams sometimes, and I'll drop a comment because I want the speaker to respond to something that's going on in my head, and they don't. And so I know how that feels. So I ain't gonna leave y'all out. But Um, so that was the first reason I felt compelled to say something. The sister holds some type of influence. The second reason I felt compelled to say something was because now this is like a huge public matter. It would have been better if the sister would have kind of just bowed out gracefully and just with her did her own thing, but she kind of made it public, which made it scandalous. And as far as I understand, there's like a lot of sisters in the comments empathizing with the way that she felt. And I'm gonna read the post so that I don't misquote and nothing is misconstrued or anything. And I don't want anybody to take this as a man attacking women, a black man attacking a black woman. This ain't that. This is a black man protecting his black woman and his black women, our tribe, our people, our community. That's what this is. And I'm a man's man. You know, I protect women, I protect children, and even the brothers who can't step up and protect themselves. I step up and protect them too. So this is coming from that. This is that almost tough love. We're gonna get some nasiha and some hidayah, but this is coming from that context. It ain't coming from nothing vindictive. I want to make that very, very, very clear. So obviously, this is something that needs to be spoken about. It's a conversation that has to get started, and we have to rectify this. Not This ain't gossip. This ain't gossiping. This ain't all the stuff you see. This ain't the shade room. This ain't the Islamic shade room. I don't get into none of that. I don't care nothing about no view. I care about views for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't care about, you know, going viral and being popular on social media. I'm from the old school, where you lay low. You lay low. I'm from that. So don't nobody ever think that this is some kind of clout thing, or that anybody that knows me personally here in Cincinnati, they know I don't even hang out. I go to work and I bring my tail home. I don't hang out with people. I don't socialize. I don't fraternize. I'm not even in the masjid. I go necessarily if they got like some good dollars or something. I go there. I don't even go to none of the country club stuff that they be doing, and none of the kumbaya potlucks. I don't go none of that stuff. Uh, it's easy to get caught up in the he said, she said, and gossip and all that. I'm not saying for people to not go. I just don't find any benefit, no spiritual benefit in that type of stuff. So this ain't none of that. So inshallah ta'ala, I want to get into what I have to say about this situation. So first I got to read what the sister said on her post. Quote, uh, uh, let me pull it up. Bear with me, please. Okay. She started off saying, I see all the messages and du'at and the backbiting. I'm just going to start off by saying, yes, I have uncovered. Yes, I'm shocked at myself. Yes, it's really me. And yes, y'all can judge me. Y'all can judge. Some that I know, some that I don't, but I've been struggling with finding a light of Islam for months. And even when I reached out for help, made videos, etc., I got backlash and negative comments and indirect statements. I just feel like I've outgrew religion in general. Uh, I feel like I can't be myself, and for years I followed this religion, and in a way I feel controlled. I was tired of feeling shameful, even for the littlest sin. As Muslims, no, she meant to say as Muslims, we are always pointed at because we have to cover and look a certain way every single day. I know some say I've inspired them and they learned so much from me, but I don't have that in me anymore. Na'udhu billah. She said her name. Uh, I'm not gonna say it. And she said her Islamic name, and she said she's not there. Trust me when I say I never thought that I'd come to this point, but you can't be a pious Muslim and ratchet at the same time. Allah Musta'an. We have to walk, dress, talk, look, and act a certain way. I honestly just want to be free. Allah Musta'an. I was way too hard on myself for the fear of Allah's punishment, and it literally drove me insane sometimes where I'll cry at night, where I'll punish myself, even if just even if for just listening to music. Mentally, it was tearing me up because I knew better. Y'all can judge me, talk about me, say what you want. You can call me what you want, but I really don't care about no one's perception of me on and off this social media stuff. I have to want to change for myself. And honestly, I don't even have the urge to change. No, I woke up one day with a weaky man that just got weaker. And for months, because we have to cover and look a certain way every single day. No, that's the same thing, I think. Hold on one second. Uh, I woke up one day with weak iman, and it just got weaker and weaker for months. I refuse to be Muslim. I refuse to be the Muslim who just is Muslim during Ramadan because I used to talk about those same type of people. I refuse to be the Muslim who just covers but doesn't practice because I spoke on those same type of people. We have to weather, we all have, whether y'all want to be honest or not. I think she meant to say we all have faults, whether we want to be honest or not. I know I'm not being talked about. I know I'm being talked about, but if your intentions isn't to make sincere dua and prayer for me, then please remove yourself. I'm very transparent and I've shared my feelings and emotions with y'all for months on this journey. I've been practicing this alone for the past 7 years and it's been hard. I love you all and we love you too, sister, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the post. Um, uh, uh, we got a lot to talk about. This probably gonna break down to a few videos, not to burn rubber on the system. Uh, first, first, I want to give some ayahs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first ayah, chapter 51, ayah 56, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create us except that we should only be worshiping Him. Let me repeat that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me rephrase it. Let me translate the Arabic in our context. We were only created to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so first and foremost, let's not be dogmatic. I'm not a fan of being dogmatic. Let's not be dogmatic. Okay? Let's open that statement up. Let's go into it. In short, most of us have already practiced everything else that life has to offer, and it has done nothing but cause us grief. We've done everything under the sun, and I'm talking to my people. Don't know other people from no other place get on here saying Brother, what are you talking about? You talking down on the Muslims and blah, blah, blah. I hear all the trolls. I hear you. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm not talking to Pakistan. I'm not talking to Palestine. I'm not talking to Saudi. I'm not talking uh, 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 to Gujarat, India. I ain't talking to Libya. I'm not talking to South Africa. I'm not talking to the Muslim countries. Y'all got different problems than the problems I see on a daily basis and the problems that I got to deal with on a daily basis, that we got to deal with on a daily basis. We don't have support, number first and foremost, from the Muslim community at large. We don't. We don't. No, number two, we are we are oppressed in this part of the world. The African Americans, we are oppressed in this part of the world. Of course, everybody know that. You know, everybody that's seen all the videos, the viral videos on TikTok about the oppression that's going on. Now the numbers are coming out because everybody's on the internet. But I'm going a little bit deeper than that. Excuse me. I brought that up because it's important that we know, my fellow African American Muslims, it's important that we know that we shouldn't put too much blame on ourselves. We still have a slave like condition in this country. I don't care how many times you can go to Louis Vuitton and spend every dime that you make. That don't mean you free. I don't care how big the rims on your car. That don't mean you free. I don't care how many bands you got in your pocket. That does not mean you're free. I don't care how many bags you got, sister. I don't care how many bags you got. That does not mean you're free. This is not freedom. Those are things. It's trash. It's junk. Literally. Literally it's junk. Literally. It's junk with paint on it. Literally. That the Louis Vuitton bag. I don't need to talk to y'all about the 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 superficialities of life. We know about it. We don't need to go down that road. Y'all smart enough. Y'all know what's going on. That don't make you free. We're oppressed, so we don't make a lot of money. Average African American in this country makes $35,000 on average. That's like almost $50,000 below the average amount of money that it takes to just live an average life in America. The average other person in America makes $50,000 to $70,000 on average. Black folks, we make 30, 35,000 per each year on average, and it's because of government orchestrated oppression. Ain't no other way to cut it. We ain't gonna go too deep into that. But I said that to say, with us not having no money, and then the people who do have money in our community, they don't come back to the community and help the community. They give people turkeys and they pass out coats for Christmas and Thanksgiving. That doesn't help our oppression. No way, shape, form, and fashion. Any of the athletes that we got that's billionaires and all that, they own islands and they live on those islands and they laughing at everybody else that don't have those billions. Literally. All of our black leaders, politician leaders, they crooked. They're crooked until I see one of them talk about reparations in the community. You crooked. I don't hear nothing you got to say. Conversation starts with reparations. Period. Why is this important? What is the relevance? The relevance is we don't generate enough money for us to build masajid that's based on Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. To build the masjid first. Second, hire some qualified imam for us to get the proper hidayah all over the country. And then on top of that, we're probably going to have to pay the imam double Because he can go, some qualified imam, some graduate of Al Azhar, not the graduates of Jamiatul Medina. We don't want them dudes. We ain't giving y'all a dollar. Shots bust out of a 30 clip. Shots busted. Don't even, I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Shots busted at the Jamiatul Medina graduates. Yeah, shots busted. Shots fired for sure. Out of 30, 230s in my hand. I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so we don't have masajid to hire these qualified imams to come to the community and give us hidayah, to establish a community and give us hidayah, put us on hidayah, and then keep us on hidayah. And then we probably have to pay them more, double, because they got to deal with some crazy stuff. We fighting and killing each other. We got gangs, we got drugs, we got prostitution on every level of prostitution. Man, ain't no. I don't know anybody signing up for that. The only people that's gonna deal with that is us. I don't see nobody, none of the Al-Azhar graduates or wherever you graduated from. I don't see none of them dying and rushing and to get into these types of situations and these types of communities and establishing a haq when they can go to the tip top of the suburbs and make $70,000 just talking about fasting, paying zakat, and Ramadan every year. And it's an easy job. This is human nature. It's human nature. Whatever. But bringing this all full circle, I'm speaking to my folks that got to deal with this kind of stuff. So uh, if you can't relate, go study. This is for specific people. Hidayah for a specific, and that's Sunnah. Prophet Islam went to his people, and they had tribal problems and tribal differences, and they had jahiliyyah because of their pre-Islam. This is 100% Sunnah, so I want to hear it. So first and foremost, we got to understand. Let's open up what Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said. We have only been created to worship Him. Everything that we give, that we done gave ourselves to. We done gave ourselves to the streets, both men and women. We done gangbang. We done Instagram thought it. We done did all this stuff and everything in between. We done tried being conservative. We done tried being Democrats. We done tried every single thing, and it is not working. Nor does it work. It doesn't work. And we got to step back and be humble and realize that other thing don't work, especially if you came out of it. If you came out of it. If you had a prior life to Islam, more than likely, and you was in the black community, more than likely, you was sinful. You was a sinful human being. And what attracted you to Islam was the structure, the beauty. You were like, oh, I can fix my life. That's what we all go through. We all have those epiphanies when we run into Islam. We meet a good brother, we meet a good sister, and they influence us. Like, dang, this person got a messed up life like how I got. And they praying every day, they fasting, they covering themselves, and they don't cuss when they talk. They don't like for you to call them a nigga. We get influenced by this stuff. That's good. Nothing wrong with it. Alhamdulillah. But you should be running from that other thing, not going back to it. We all got our struggles. Like the sister said, we all got our struggles, but that's what Islam is for. Islam is to give us the guidance. Ihdina siratan mustaqim. You gotta say, why do you think the Fatiha has the words in it that it has, and that is a mandatory aspect of your prayer? You have to say that. You gotta say the Fatiha. You don't have to say nothing else. You have to say the Fatiha. How many of us have even taken the time to study the tafsir for Fatiha? It ain't like it's a small thing. It ain't a pamphlet. It ain't a book. It's volumes. Ihdina sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata al-ladhina an'amta alayhim. Y'all know what that means. Allah Ta'ala mandated that we say the Fatiha in all 5 prayers in a day. This is drilling that into our head, drilling it into our head, drilling it into your heart, and inshallah ta'ala, it'll just flow all through your spirit, your soul. Anything that you do or you say, this is science. This is the brain science. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew about neurology long before the science of neurology. Obviously, Allah knew about the neurology before the science of neurology even existed. Look at music as an example. Everybody done seen kids, they kids or somebody's kids singing some song. Why? And the song not on. Why? Because they hearing it over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again until it's embedded in your subconscious. All day long, we can. And it happens to us, adults. This is neurology. This is what Allah is doing to us in the salah. This is why it's mandatory as a Muslim for you to make salah. It's mandatory. That is a right. That's a haqq of Allah. That is a right that belongs to Allah. You need to compromise it within yourself that them 5 times a day, they're not mine. That's not your time. That's Allah's time. Just like the month of Ramadan is not your month. The month of Ramadan is the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You got to have the same mentality when it comes to your salah. Them 5 that they say in the hadith, and I'm paraphrasing, when the adhan was called, if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was having a conversation, he'll blank out. He'll act like he don't even know you. That gotta touch you. That gotta touch you. As soon as the adhan is called and it's time to make salah, Prophet sallam blank out. He don't hear or see nothing. It's time to go pay my deed, to pay my debt. A good brother of mine from Jersey, named Jersey, he told me a long time ago. He said, "Brother, stop saying you making salah." He like, you don't make salah. You offer salah. You sacrificing. You taking the time out of your day willingly. You taking that from yourself. You taking that from your family. You taking that from your job. You taking it from everything and anything you got going on. Other than that, you taking it from the brothers and the sisters. You taking that time and you giving that time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That should curb your ego. That should make that ego go up out of you. This is all that you own of value is your Islam, your Salah. So as we seen all throughout the sister's posts, she was saying, I want to be free. You can't be Muslim and ratchet at the same time. Categorically, she was wrong. You could be a ratchet Muslim. Being a ratchet does not make you a non-Muslim. And the Salafis probably told her that. Because they real rigid like the Mu'tazila. They real rigid like that. Like if you do any kind of sin, you out of Islam. And I'm going to get to the whole Salafi issue. I'm going to get to it. We going to, as my great Sheikh, rahmatullah alayh, as he used to say, I'm coming on that. But as I said, I want to be free. She paraphrasing her, I want to do what I want to do. I've been struggling to find the nur of Allah. She didn't have the proper guidance. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to bet you any bottom dollar she never had any acquaintance with an actual sheikh. I ain't talking about these YouTube Salafi da'is that make viral TikTok and Instagram videos. That is not the deen. Watching all them TikTok videos with the subtitles and the heroic music in the background, that is not the deen. The deen is when you sit down and you are giving yourself that daily prescription that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the Quran is the medicine for the heart. You giving yourself that medicine. So I'm willing to bet that the sister was not taught correctly. 99, I can't think of an individual. I've been Muslim since 2007. And I've only been around Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. People adherents of the 4 schools of fiqh and the 2 schools of Aqidah. I've only been, what are those balloons coming from? I've never seen that before. I've never seen in my eyes, I can't recall anybody that was on that program that left Islam. Not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's a lot less likely for it to happen. Why? Because there's an actual program. Let me save that. So let me close that first point. We need to understand, Muslims, if y'all watching this, understand you're not here to be ratchet. You're not here to be a G. You're not here to be a gangster. You're not here to serve your family if it ain't for the sake of Allah. You're not here to serve your community if it's not for the sake of Allah. You're not here for that. This is the reason why I do the Aqidah series. Y'all should tune in to that every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. This is why. What the sister and the sisters in the comments that was there that was supporting what she was saying and was empathizing with what she was saying, and the brothers that's struggling. Once you have a good hold on the Aqidah, that will strengthen your practice. It'll strengthen your practice. It is okay to read some of the books, and a lot of the books practice tafweed. For the people, most people don't know what tafweed is. Tafweed is like when some of the obscure ayats in the Quran are talked about, or they read, or they brought up, you don't comment on it. But there's an Islamic principle called ta'wil, where those concepts, and I'm speaking in reference to the existence of Allah. Those the Islamic the what the Quran and the Sunnah has said about the proof that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists, the ta'wil of that, it'll it'll open your eyes. It has for me. It's not enough nowadays, especially in the black community, for you to say believe in Allah. Well, like wait, so for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Tu'minu billahi wa rasulihi. Believe in Allah and believe in his messenger. Okay, if that's good enough for you, mashallah tabarukum. Most of the time, coming from where we come from, Been through what we've been through. We have people don't understand. We have spiritual trauma. Growing up in churches and all the stuff that we see in churches, all the hypocrisy that we see in churches, all of the innovated teaching, spiritual teachings that they have in churches, that equates to spiritual trauma. And that's what's wrong with our society. Everybody went to Sunday school. Everybody did. Everybody got on that bus. And they went and, we went to church and did what they do in church. We sung, we danced, we watched the old folks get the Holy Ghost. We did all of that. And then to come to find out when you get of age and you start to think and look on your own and you start thinking, how can Jesus be God and God? How could Jesus be God and Jesus the Son of God and they all one is an egg and the shell and the yolk? That don't make no sense. That don't make the least amount of sense. And each and every Christian that ever believed that, questioned it, guaranteed. Some people justify it. Most of them justify it because that's all they know. That's all they know. So most of them justify it. But the rest, they stopped believing on the inside. All of us had. It don't add up. And then outside of that, when you leave the church, ain't no church structure. Ain't you don't see that in society. You see gangs and drugs and prostitution. That's what you see when you leave the church. So we forget about what the pastor said. So we don't see that reality manifested nowhere where we live. And then on top of that, you got all of that stuff in the dunya: gangs, drugs, prostitution, all these other ideologies, all this other stuff. Some other people pulling you, say, hey, go to college, and there's no spiritual training in the college. You just go to college and you learning just how to make a living. That's not spiritual training when you're learning how to make a living. And then on top of that, you got to deal with all the fitting in the college, the girls and the guys, the drinking and smoking. You got to deal with all of that. So most of us, we'd have been jumped from every angle you can think of. That is spiritual trauma. That was the experience that most of us had. So to be acquainted with Islam, to consider being a Muslim, and then let alone being a Muslim, we have to take it easy on ourselves. We've been through a lot. Not to mention all that we'd have been through, aside from what I done bait your baby daddy and y'all outside fighting, and he said this, he said he hates you, and then he cheated on you, and then she cheated on him, and now you can't be in the house with your children, and now the children and your baby daddy's not in the house with your children, and you got to be a single mother, and then the brother has to be a single dad, and then he got to go out and try to take care of some other woman and her children that she got. That's the same situation. And then they go and have children. And then you still got to take care of her, and child support knocking on your door. And then the sister's not getting that child support. We going through some things. We're going through some things. So we got to take it easy on ourselves. All of that is not what we should be running to. That is what's outside of the bubble of Islam. That is what is outside of the bubble of your Islam. If you say, hey, I just need a break from what? You need a break from all that, what I just said? You need a break from getting shot at on the block with 30s. You need a break from 50 guys been in your inbox and telling you they all love you and they want to see you tonight, and 5 of them you might consider. You want a break from Islam to go back into that madness? You need a break? No, there's a problem with your belief. And that's why it's important to have the proper belief. Which leads me to my second point, the Salafi Minhaj. A lot of y'all gonna see this, and a lot of y'all not gonna like what I'm saying. But it's the truth. And I stand on it. And anybody want to have a conversation with anything that I'm about to say, we can have a conversation. You're not gonna like it. Yes, I'm a deviant. Yes, I'm an Ash'ari deviant. I'm a madhabi blind follower. All of the above. I stand on it, and I can back it up real well. I'm undefeated in them conversations. Ask your partners about me. 99% of these sisters. That's how it was. All sisters on that post. I didn't see any brothers. I haven't heard of any brothers being on there like, yeah, I want to cut my beard. When the sister's saying I want to take off my hijab and I want to be free and blah blah blah. I ain't see no brothers on that post. And we're talking about the sisters. We can talk about the brothers next week. Today, we're talking about the sisters. And I'm hard on the sisters. I am. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna run from that. I'm hard on the sisters. Even my own friends that are women, Muslim women, sometimes they be like, man, what is you talking about? Then I gotta let them know what I'm talking about, and then they be all right. But I'm hard on our women because y'all got the ball right now. Y'all got the rock. The men, black men, don't have the rock. If y'all haven't peeped it, black men are still under attack. They're not tying our arms to two different horses and smacking the horse on the butt, and both the horses running different ways and our arms being tore off in front of our families. They're not doing that no more. They're doing it in a different way, y'all. They're doing it in a different way. And I'm pretty sure y'all see it. Child support, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Brothers on child support, we're discriminated against as black men when we go to fill out a job. You can be the perfect black man. You can graduate high school with honors. You can go to college and graduate with honors. And then once you go out into this racist job market, you are going to be discriminated against just because of the color of your skin. Play with me on the statistics. Play with me. I got all the numbers saved, hot and ready. Brett Favre pass straight to your inbox if you need it. For me to back up what I'm saying. Read the black tax. Read the color of law. Read. Quit watching all them Instagram and YouTube TikToks. Brothers that's painting an Islamic picture that like the Sahaba exists still or something. We oppressed. We're not making the money that we should make. We don't own the amount of property that we should own. We're not doing the things that every other man that's out here in the world is doing because we're still oppressed. A man, let me drop this on y'all sisters because we talking about the sisters. Let me say this to y'all. Have mercy with the brothers. We're under attack. We don't need no attack from y'all. We under attack. If I get you pregnant, and we break up and we don't work, I can't go downtown and get no benefits. I can't go get food stamps. I can't go get Section 8. I can't go get WIC. And don't nobody get on here saying, yes, you can. I know a guy that gets all that. Yeah, I know a few too. I used to get them when I got custody of my son. So you preaching to the choir. We're not talking about that 2%. And it's literally 2%. Last time I checked. It might be 3 or 4 now. 90 some odd plus percent of black people that are on government assistance are black women. So y'all can have some help while y'all go to nursing school until y'all get y'all degree. And then y'all go to making too much money, but you cool because you got it now. The entire time you was in school and that whole time, as soon as you went down, and y'all know this, you just mad at your baby daddy, so you don't never give him that benefit of the doubt. The entire time y'all on that assistance, they coming after us. Black men overall, as on average, are undereducated if they are educated, which 90 something percent of the time, that means that you are going to not be able to make what you should be making on average to have a normal American life. You will be making you can be making just at that 35,000 or something way below it. We all know this to be true. As soon as you go down there and we break up, and I'm gonna go back around to what the topic is. As soon as we break up and you go downtown because you know you can't raise Lil Ray Ray and Lil Rah Rah on your own, they come out to us. If I got a job, they taking all that money out my check. And I don't care what y'all say. I take care of 6 children. I have never handed each one of those children $200 a month, $267 a month. And we live good, we eat good, we all weigh more than what we should weigh. We take family vacations. They all have designer clothes and shoes. They got iPhones, tablets, all that. And I have never given one of my children $267 a month. Never. So me handing over to my child that dollar amount does not make me a good father. I've never done it. And them kids don't miss for nothing. For nothing. They got trampoline outside, pool outside, water slide outside. We go to parks. They had hoverboards and all that mess. And I have never given them a check for $267 that ain't never gonna make it to them. So the whole time y'all in nursing school, this was happening to us. However many kids we made, that $267 is getting took out my check. That $900 gone. Y'all know what $35,000? How much is that? That's about $2,900 a month. So that leave you with $2,000. Your child support. Most of us got about 3 kids. Most of us. That leave you with $2,000. Most people got a car note. That's $500. So now you got $1,500. You're gonna have insurance. That's gonna be about $300. Now you're down to $1,200. You're gonna have gas. That's about $400. Brother walking around with 500 hot ones in his pocket every month. And we still got to eat, go to the movies, buy nice clothes, buy shoes. I got to do that with another woman. And she got 3 kids with another brother. And y'all talking about what we ain't got and how we can take care of y'all. We under attack. That child support system don't work. It don't work. Closing that point, we going through some things. You can't take no break, and that goes both ways. Because A brother ain't paying that. He get mad when you put him on child support. He get mad. I ain't working now. If he work, cause he done the math. Ain't nobody finna be no slave walking around with no $300-400 in their pocket. Not gonna happen. So now what? I'm going to the block. I'm going to the block. I can make that. I can make that in a day. 2,900. I'm telling you the real. I'm going to the block. I'm gonna sell some weed. And if it get real bad, we're gonna be selling dope, robbing dudes, and the rest is history. Now I'm getting locked up. Now I'm getting shot up. We taking a break to deal with all of that. You taking a break from the peace of your life in Islam. You taking a break for that? What are you taking a break? We leaving that and going into peace. The Muslim sister is merciful on her husband. She merciful. She understand that stress that black man got. She understands it. She not taking him downtown. He's a Muslim. This is a man that is doing the best that he possibly can to serve Allah, and I respect him for that. That's what the sisters do. So if our sisters start taking a break from Islam and be ratchet like the sister said, you telling me you leaving being Khadijah to go be sexy red? You telling me you leaving being Khadijah? That's not the sister's name either. I'm just making something up. You leaving that to go be a person that literally wreaks hell and havoc. Sins and depression is connected. Committing sins and depression is connected. Sins at an all-time high. Listen to the music. All these people talk about is popping pills, prescription pills. Prescription. They call it prescription for a reason. If you got some type of chemical imbalance or you don't have enough of some type of chemical in your brain, they give you some medicine. You missing something. All these people talk about is self-medicating, and they all talk about their pain and all the problems in life, and their mama and their daddy done did this, and mama went there, daddy wasn't never around, and my baby mama is a you know what. My baby mama ain't. She won't let me see my kids. Something is wrong. You leaving the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where the reward is peace. The reward for being a Muslim is having peace. You will not have those problems. Allah gave us the hidayah. That don't mean you ain't gonna be tested. Allah gave us the hidayah. What we gonna do when we get tested in these particular situations? So you want to take a break from Islam to go and to go to no guidance with no solutions to your problem, and you just gonna drink and smoke and pop pills until you fall asleep at the wheel and run into a doggone tree or another car or a wall or something. And this is happening. I lost a few homies like that. It makes no sense. We're not here on this earth to do all this stuff. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, as I read, you were only created to worship him. We did that other thing and it don't work. There's no reason to take a break, brother. There's no reason to take a break, sister. You already been down that road. You got brought out of the fire. And those are just extreme examples of what I just was talking about. There's other things that are lesser that really bothered people. We don't even need to get into that. My second point, resurfacing to the second point, 99% of these sisters that come to Islam, they come, they done met a brother, and he got a beard, he got a kufi, he got a jalabia, very convincing, very smooth. And 99% of the time, as what I've seen, he's a Salafi. Alhamdulillah, the Salafiyah, they say the Shahada. I don't make takfir on the people who call themselves Salafis. I don't make takfir. I know people who do, scholars, so forth. But my point is not the madhab bang. I've been screaming this from the top of my lungs since I came home from prison, and I seen that the Salafi minhaj was a problem. Let me save y'all 15 years of studying in a few sentences. The deen is transmitted. It's handed down. As y'all know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Quran and the Sunnah to Jibril alayhi salam. Jibril gave it to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. As y'all know, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave it to the Sahaba. Y'all know the rest of the story. I'm here making a declaration to y'all. The Salafi Minhaj is not what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave to the Sahaba. The evidence is there's no link. The founder of the Salafi Minhaj was Ibn Abdul Wahhab. It did not start until he came in the 14th century of the European calendar. It didn't start. We never heard what the Salafi Minhaj believes until that man came. The proof is in the pudding. If some of y'all watching this have never, y'all not hip to me, go back to this page, the True Aqidah of the Salaf, on Facebook and YouTube, and go through the videos. Don't hit me with a bunch of questions. Go listen to the video. I'll talk with you. But there is no link of Ibn Abdul Wahhab to the people, an unbroken chain all the way back to the Sahaba. With that being said, the people of the four schools, the Hanafiya, the Malikiyya, the Shafi'iyya, the Hanabila, we have changed. If you follow that, their chains, their chains and their teachings have unbroken links back to the Sahaba, which go back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yeah, both sides is saying Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Both sides are saying that. Both sides are saying following the Quran, the Sunnah, according to the way of the Salaf. All right, well, we need to put a glove on that. We need to prove that. It ain't enough for nobody just to say it. And the Salafi people always say, don't blind follow. Okay, don't blind follow Ibn Abdul Wahhab. Don't blind follow Sheikh Uthaymeen. Don't blind follow Bin Baz. Don't blind follow Al-Albani. Go and look at what the Salaf said. Go and look at what the Salaf did. You're not going to find what them dudes say and what the Salaf said and did. Wallahi ta'ala, you're not going to find it. I'm there every day. If what them dudes believe was in that time period, the time of the Salaf, the time of the Sahaba, the time of the Tabi'een, the time of the Tabi'een, if it was there, I would be the biggest Salafi. I'm there every single day. I make these goofy videos 3 times a week and I prove it. I show people. I don't just tell y'all, I don't just call folks a bunch of names, which is what the Salafi Minhaj does. And I'm making a point. So follow me. All the Salafi Minhaj people do, not the women for the most part. I've had the women come at me crazy. You're a deviant, you're an Ash'ari, you're a Sufi. They don't even know what an Ash'ari is. 99% of y'all that ever said that, you ain't never read an Ash'ari book. You blind following those Salafi scholars. And you could be real with yourself. The 99% of y'all say I don't blind follow any certain madhab, or I don't follow one particular madhab, I follow them all. That is some of the goofiest stuff I've ever heard in my life. That means you've never seen fiqh ever in your life. And I'm not talking about the book Fiqh Sunnah. The book Fiqh Sunnah is not a classical fiqh book. That stuff, it's some stuff in there that come from like the four imams and some of the scholars that followed the four imams. But that book itself, the way that it's been put together, the whole nine, it has a broken chain. The scholars don't know where that book came from. That is important, y'all. Why is that important? Why did I just go on my normal Salafi rant? Why? Why? May Allah guide us all to the haqq. I mean, why did I just do that? Because the Quran, the Sunnah, the Deen, Islam, it is a prescription that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. Everything must be done in order, and it must be done the correct way. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, listen, one of the favorite quotes of the Salafi Imams is that every bid'ah is rejected and every bid'ah leads to the fire. So if you're doing something that is innovated, that means number one, according to your scholars, it's rejected. If it's rejected, that means you're not getting the spiritual benefits of it. It's rejected. Look at the famous hadith when the man made wudu and then he wouldn't pray. The Prophet said, "Go back." He went back, did his wudu again, came back, and I'm paraphrasing. He came back, made a salah. Prophet said, "Go back." He did it again. Prophet said, boom. Y'all know that hadith. Y'all know that hadith. And the man was like, "Man, all right, what I did wrong? Why you keep telling me remake my salah?" Prophet I told him, like, you missed a spot of wudu on your foot. You gotta watch that. Then, he did it and he went back and he was cool. So we can't do what we want to do in this deen. Prophet ﷺ was telling us in instances like that, that's rejected. We're in this for the end game and the end goal. The end game and the end goal is for us to get to reap the spiritual benefits. To see a change in your character. To see a change in your lifestyle. I'm sorry to say it, man. I am so sorry to say it, but like the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, like when they talk about Philadelphia, the home of the Salafiyah, we call it Club Philly, Club Salafiyah. We joke like that. Y'all ain't gonna like it. We laughing with y'all, not at y'all. But the outward physical acts are in disarray. Since they're in disarray, the spiritual benefits cannot be there. They can't be there. If you go and actually read a fiqh book, you can read one of the smallest fiqh books. In the fiqh books, it tells you to do tartib between all of your acts. What is tartib? Keep the stuff in order. This is in fiqh. This is in simple stuff like you can't wash your mouth before you wash your hands. You can't wash your feet before you wash your head. Simple stuff like that. You got to keep in order. So my point that I'm trying to bring is the women that's dealing with these types of problems, all of the ones that I've seen, uncovering, giving Islam a break, they Salafis or they're struggling with the whole Salafi thing. Sisters, that is not the correct version of Islam. If that is the only form of Islam that you have ever seen, if I've never, in all the years that I've been Muslim, seen a madhabi turn into a Salafi, I've never seen it. It has probably happened. I've never seen it. But all the time, every week, I'm me personally bringing Salafis into Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. This was an important conversation. That's why I stay stuck on it all the time. Brothers and sisters, we playing dress up. We playing dress up. We playing who can have the most flowing abaya with the beautiful glasses that y'all wear. Which brother can have the nicest beard and the nicest flowing jalabia with the nice socks. The Islam don't go outside of that. If you haven't sat down and started reading, started learning your Arabic and memorizing Quran with tajweed, if you haven't started learning your fiqh, sitting down, looking at the fiqh of the Sahaba, the fiqh of the Salaf, start learning that, memorizing that, incorporating that. Start learning your Aqidah, the actual Aqidah of the Salaf. I'm not talking about Kitab Iman that came from bin Baz. I don't want to talk about bin Baz. Bin Baz did not live, not bin Baz, what's his name? Ibn Abdul Wahhab. I don't want to talk about him or anybody that's associated with him because they didn't live in a time of the Salaf. My scholars did. My scholars did. They lived in a time of the Salaf. So what are the chances that we would be wrong up against them? I got to emphasize this because if you're not practicing the Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf, you will not reap its spiritual benefits. And this is a prime example. I have never seen a madhabi sister do this. I've never seen it. All of the sisters that uncover and give Islam a break, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, they'll recite Quran, but it won't go past their throats. We have to be scared of this. We got to be scared of this. We can't spend our time regretting our Islam. We can't do that. And I'm giving the sisters that's going through this struggle, I'm giving y'all benefit of the doubt. Y'all have not been taught properly. First thing that came out the sister mouth was she's been searching to find the nur of Allah. That's tasawwuf. But she got all the sloppy saying Sufis are deviants. Don't be a Sufi. Sufis this, and Sufis that, and Sufis this. Y'all ain't gonna never see me tell anybody sing and dance and spin in circles. I don't believe that's tasawwuf. I'm not against that. I don't know of any hawk that has went against it. If that's what floats your boat and that's what keeps your morale up, cool. But tasawwuf, tazkiyah, reading the Quran, giving yourself that prescription, struggling to learn the Arabic, struggling to recite the Quran, Wallahi, I learned how to recite the Quran before I even learned to read it. I used to go to sleep. I was in prison and embedded in a jail cell for a decade of my life. I ain't going nowhere with a tape recorder with Sheikh Sudais and Abdul Basi, rahimahumullah, hafidahullah, in my ears at nighttime. You have to you gotta go and chase it. It's not gonna chase you. And we all have that deviancy in us. But the way that you take care of that deviancy is with the Quran and the Sunnah. And to be frank, we got a problem in Philadelphia because they're not practicing the Quran and the Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. They're practicing the Quran and the Sunnah according to Ibn Abdul Wahhab. They're blind following him. In Philadelphia, we got Raheem sliding on Mutassim. And then my friends who are imams in Philly gotta do a janazah for Mutassim. And when they washing his body, Mutassim got bullet holes all through his body. This ain't no internet game. I done heard of a few Eid celebrations shot up. I done heard of sisters. Matter of fact, I seen sisters who were co-wives going live fighting each other at the Eid. Ain't no way this is the Quran or Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. Ain't no way. Daily. Sister got the hijab on, sister got the no, don't have the hijab on. Daily. In Philly. How is this the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf? Something is wrong. The brothers in Philly, knee deep in the streets. Knee deep in the streets, neck deep in the streets. How is it that we got a city that's the only city in America that has a predomination of black Muslims, but they not exempt from any of the problems that affect black people on the whole? Something ain't right. And it's time y'all look around and say something ain't right. We got brothers, some of their imams sneaking with women, got 10 wives, 5 mistresses. This is real stuff. We got their wives exposing them. They're imams. Something is missing. That does not look like the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. It don't. So what's wrong? Maybe y'all should be singing and dancing and spinning in circles instead of doing all of that stuff. But doing all of the same stuff that the Kufar are doing. Maybe. I'll choose that bid'ah over that Masiyah any day. Bid'ah is the biggest friend of Shaitan. Because people will get stuck thinking that this is Islamic. So they'll keep doing it. And that's the problem that we have in Philly. And I gotta keep saying Philly. I know y'all hate when people say that. I see the sisters post all the time. Why y'all always talking about Philly? Stop bringing Philly up because y'all are the leaders of black Muslims. Everybody from every black person from all over the country. The only thing we see on social media is that of black people that are Muslims is Philly. We don't see a city full of Muslims nowhere else. Philly and its associates, parts of Jersey, parts of New York, Pittsburgh. Everybody else, all of the rest of us is scattered about, and all we see is beautiful jilbabs and beautiful long beards with henna in them, and y'all reposting fiery sermons from Abdul Hassan Somali, whatever his name is. And we don't even know the difference yet. We don't even know the difference. Y'all leading the way. Y'all leading the way. So I got to say it. But to wrap that up, I believe wholeheartedly, like when you fall on the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf, you busy. You busy. When you learning your fiqh and you memorizing your fiqh, you are busy. You ain't got time to take no break. And the more you learn, you just getting fed. And your spiritual, like what they call it, alu, it just goes higher and higher and higher. Inside of the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, if somebody's struggling, like she said, we don't beat them down. We follow the Sunnah of backbiting, like you saw that she mentioned. They tear her down whenever if she listens to music or whatever. We don't say that listening to music. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah doesn't say that listening to music is kufr. The Salafis say that, and it's wrong. We don't say that. There's no explicit evidence against music. None. And I'm not advocating for music. What I'm going to say about that is what Sheikh said. One of my shuyukh said. He said, if you reading the Quran and you learning your fiqh and stuff, you ain't going to have time to listen to music. And if you do make tawbah, just do your best. That's not going to cast you into the hellfire. But you got to know your fiqh. You do that one thing and you think your whole Islam is doomed. And the Salafi Minhaj will do that to you. The Mu'tazila used to do the same thing. They used to believe that if a person commit one sin, that sin was kufr. They don't say that a lot, but they will treat you as if you're a kafir if you do something wrong. And that within itself is wrong. It's wrong. We got so many hadith in the time of the Prophet alayhi salatu salam. Like the time when the brothers kept catching the brother drunk, the Sahaba kept catching the brother drunk. They beat him up. They had duff him up real quick and bring him to the Prophet. Prophet said, release him, let him go, leave him alone. They don't teach you stuff like that because they're teaching the doctrine of Ibn Abdul Wahhab. They're not teaching the doctrine of Muhammad ibn Abdullah. They're not teaching that doctrine. They're teaching the doctrine of Ibn Abdul Wahhab. There's a difference. There's so much mercy. You got to soften your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about the making the softness of the hearts. He condemned the hard hearts. He condemned the harsh people. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam got mad when one of the major Sahabi, he appointed him to lead the Salah. And then the people left the Salah. And the people went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and complained. And the Prophet went to that Sahabi and said, man, you putting fitna on people? Because he was making a Salah too long. Folks got stuff to do. Allah, the Prophet, na'udhu the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was practical. He was practical. He told that Sahabi, he said, you put that on yourself. Don't put that on everybody else. So if you a sheikh and you don't listen to music and you never looked at a woman and all, if you're a sheikh and you like that, alhamdulillah. If you're a da'i and you never listen to music and you never looked at any women, you walk through the world like this and you scroll on your phone like this too, alhamdulillah, tabarakum. You can't force that on nobody else. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? سَيَذَّكَّرُ مَن يَخْشَى. Give the reminder. If you know that the reminder is going to be taken well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say, oh, you listen to music, you're a deviant. You take off your hijab, sister, you're not a Muslim anymore. You're Khanitha. What part of Islam where did that come from? It didn't come from the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. and most definitely didn't. The Prophet ﷺ was most merciful with those people that he seen was struggling. And maybe that's what the sister needed. First thing come out her mouth, I see y'all backbiting and bump, 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 bump. Because that's what them YB dudes do. That's what they do. Oh, look at the sister. She done took a jab ball. They go all in the inbox. Sister, you need to go. And you ain't none of her husband. You ain't none of her wali. You ain't none of her wakil. You not her daddy. You not her uncle. You not none of that. You all in her inbox telling her what she need to do. Now, if you know her, that's different. But just sitting there, that's that cult mentality. That's a cult mentality. You push the sister away from Islam, how's she gonna hear the hawk? One time it was some Wahhabis that was like crazy, like they was wanting to jump on the shack and the whole nine when I was in prison. We told them, it's like, man, y'all not coming to Juma no more. Because we have Juma and we have Talim and they would be disruptive. I'm sitting here trying to learn the Quran. I'm trying to memorize Hadith. I'm memorizing. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to get away from my old life. And these dudes coming in here and disturbing that. So I made my mind up. This is when I was much younger. I went and told them dudes, hey man, listen, don't come to Juma no more. I ain't trying to hear nothing. If y'all disturb me trying to fix my spirit, I'm going to disturb your face from thinking with your brain. Wallahi, this is the kind of person I was. I told them, y'all ain't coming no more. Come up there, and if y'all do, y'all going to sit quietly. And when y'all sit quietly, y'all ain't going to say nothing. I don't even want to hear y'all ask no questions because you ain't going to like me as a non-Muslim, period. The sheikh got on me. That Juma, them dudes came, they used to protest Sheikh Ayub. And they'd pull chairs out. And instead of sitting on the carpet, they'd protest him silently because they were scared to say something because they knew Abdul Kabir was like a fool in the chapel. They used to sit chairs behind, not on the carpet, behind the carpet. What I do? I go get the chairs, put the chairs up. Wallahi ta'ala, get out. Sheikh Ayub yelled at me so loud in front of everybody. He yelled at me. He ain't yell at them. And they the ones disrupting the show. I didn't say nothing. He said, yeah, Abdul Kabir, why is your ego so big? This is what Sheikh Ayub said to me. This is a wali of Allah. This is a wali, a muhsin of Allah. One of the few times I seen him raise his voice. I was like, Sheikh, they disturbing the services. He's like, no. He said, brothers, sit where you like to sit. Abdul Kabir, you go sit down. I sat down, did the Jumu'ah. Afterwards, he pulled me in the office and he was like, I apologize for yelling at you. He said, but if they not in a room, how they gonna get the hidayah? He said, you want them to be better. He said, you're not gonna punch them and they're gonna be better. If they're in a room and they can hear the hidayah, then they'll change. I'm like, but Sheikh, they disrespecting you. He said, I don't care nothing about that. I come here to give the word of Allah. That's it. Wisdom, being with a sheikh, having those spiritual lessons. I can guarantee you she wasn't around people like that. I can guarantee you, as soon as she maybe expressed this to some knowledgeable people, that sister, this is disgusting. You can't do this. This is haram. You need to go and you need to go make tawbah and don't come back to the masjid until you do and deactivate your Facebook. No, this is not the way. Prophet ﷺ said that there's no mercy for the believer, that there's no mercy for the believers. And that's paraphrased. So I want to wrap this up, and it got too long. I can go about this all day. Lastly, I want to leave y'all with an ayah, and please have some khawf. And I'm sharing with y'all ayats that changed me, that surgically changed me. Uh, so look at these ayats and take them and remember them. This next ayah is Surah Al-Jathiyah, 45:23. 45:23. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Afara'ayta man ittakhadha ilahu hawahu wa adallallahu ala ilmin wa khatama ala sam'ihi wa qablihi wa ja'ala ala basarihi ghishawah faman yahdihi min ba'dillah fala tadhakkarun. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, have you not seen the person that takes their own self, their nafs, as a god? They take their own nafs as a god. Have you not seen the person that takes their own nafs as a god? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging you. Like the sister said, you can't be a Muslima and be ratchet. Okay. Okay. You got a point, sis. You got a point. But are you taking yourself as God, sister? Sisters, brothers, are you taking yourself as God? Be scared. The best thing that she wrote in that post is that she said she would cry because of the way that she felt. Alhamdulillah, that was Toba, sister. If the Salafis was teaching you correctly, they would have showed you in the fiqh that you got to have remorse for what you do. That is good, sister. Sisters, brothers, that is good. Subhanallah, a person and the people who can cry because of their sins. That is Toba. That is Toba. And you would cry to yourself? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on her. I mean, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not allow her to leave Islam. I mean, she cool. She's fine. And if y'all know that, sister, tell her as a part of this video. I'm sure y'all done learned something by now. Tell her she's fine. Keep crying for those sins. There's nothing wrong with it. If you need to take your hijab off, sister, deactivate Facebook. Stay off Facebook. Don't go on Facebook. Don't make yourself susceptible to the things that challenge what you know is correct. She was Muslim for 7 years. You don't do something for 7 years and think that it's incorrect. She believes that it's correct. She's just struggling with her nafs. And we all do. This is why we have the Quran. This is tasawwuf. This is tazkiyah. What we doing on this video, on this live stream, we're doing tasawwuf. We're being Sufis. We're making dhikr. This is what we're doing. This is tasawwuf, y'all. Looking at this ayah. Have you seen the person that takes themselves as a god? You are not humble if you do not consider this ayah, that statement in that ayah. You are not humble. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the person that has an Adam's way of kibr, of proudness, of arrogance in their heart will not enter Jannah. So you need to question yourself. Islam ain't about being, it ain't about being easy. It ain't about calling people deviants. It ain't about calling a person a non-Muslim. I don't care if you doing it or your husband is doing it. Islam is not about that. That's harsh-heartedness. Islam is not about when you make a mistake, you get destroyed for making a mistake, or you destroy yourself for making a mistake. Sisters, brothers, that is a trick that Shaitan uses. Are they not teaching in Salafi school? In Salafi school, are they not teaching the hadith about the man that will come or the person that will come on the day of Qiyamah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gonna roll out his book of deeds, and his book of deeds gonna go as far as the eye can see, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gonna forgive that person because he gonna take that and put it on the scale, and then he gonna take La ilaha illallah and put it on the scale. And only la ilaha illallah is going to be heavier than his book of bad deeds that goes as far as the eye can see. Are they not teaching that in Salafi school? Are they not teaching when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised us that when we make to stuck when we do istighfar and we do tawbah, that stuff is going to be erased? It counts as one deed and it's going to be erased when you make tawbah and you make forget and you ask for forgiveness, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gonna turn that bad deed into a good deed. Sis, you can't lose. That's a deal that you can't refuse. Oh, that just rhymed. Hey, somebody send that bar to Sexy Red and tell her put it in her song. I know y'all know them people. No, be lie. But that's a deal that you can't refuse. Hey, is anybody telling the sister about the hope that she has? Huh? Nothing wrong with it. Everybody struggles. But when we struggle, we got to embrace each other, not destroy them. We got to embrace them. A lot of times when I see Muslims not doing what they're supposed to do, like on Facebook, I mute them. Because most of the time, what I do is dial well on Facebook, 99% of the time. So I'm hoping like they see something I do and it click. But I don't even want to watch what you're doing. I don't want to see it. I don't want to develop a bad thought of you or none of that. And if I know you or we interacted on here, then I'm gonna take my chance and see how. But in the rest of this ayah, look at this ayah. Be scared that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَضَلَّهُ اللَّهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ وَخَتَمَ عَلَى سَمْعِهِ وَقَلْبِهِ وَجَعَلَ عَلَى بَصَرِهِ. Allah will send you astray. That type of person. It's not for us. Like the sister said, she spoke, I'm paraphrasing it, she spoke about, feeling horrible when she did something wrong or listen to music, something like that. Okay. But don't challenge Allah. It ain't your place to challenge Allah. Be afraid that Allah can do this to you. What he said, send you astray. And then after he sends you astray, it's gonna be and this is loose, rough translations, y'all. So don't come for me. If you want to do word for word, tajweed rule for tajweed rule, grammar rule for grammar rule, hit me on my inbox and we can get it in. Because this is what I do all day. I'll put you to sleep with it, just for the sake of brevity. And I know everybody ain't come here for no Arabic lesson, so I'm just trying to paraphrase as best I can while I'm talking fast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send you astray. And then Allah Ta'ala will put a khatam on your hearing and your sight and your heart, your sama, the qalb, and your basar. So that means if you dealing with arrogance, you want to challenge Allah, it's okay if you're a sinful Muslim. Because you're a Muslim. Sooner or later, you're gonna come out of that. But if you want to challenge Allah, you need to be scared. Don't be arrogant. Don't challenge Allah. Don't challenge Allah's belief. Don't challenge Allah's Islam. Say I'm wrong, not Allah. Don't say I need a break. No, 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 no. You don't need a break. You don't challenge Allah. In another part of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what makes you feel safe that I won't make the earth quake and shake up under you and you'll fall in it? You got to consider that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on all of the shuhada in Morocco. Look what just happened in Morocco. That shook my soul. The Moroccans are Maliki brothers and sisters. That's a Maliki country. Damn, Muslim, good Muslims, generations of Muslims that go back to the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in a blink of an eye, 3,000 of them, he called them all back. We don't have no right to be arrogant. We don't have no right to challenge Allah. We don't have no right to challenge Allah. None. Challenge yourself. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Not Allah. I'm wrong. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Quran? Ya ayyuhal mutamainna. Irji'i ila jannah. The the blame, the self-blaming person. Allah said the people who blame themselves will enter Jannah. Not the people that blame Allah. And don't believe that just because it say it. Just think about that for a second. How can you blame the creator of all that exists? The creator that throws breath into your lungs and take it out and throw it in and take it out and throw it in. Come on, y'all. This is Aqidah. Are they not teaching this stuff in Salafi school? This is Aqidah. Allah exists. Allah is there. We spending too much time worrying about who's a deviant and should you be spinning in circles and should you be listening to music, and we spending too much time with that mundane stuff. That's ABC 1, 2, 3. Get into your Aqidah studies. Get into your fiqh studies. And then if you survive that after 10 years, then start learning about the hadith. Quit reading them pamphlets about Ibn Abdul Aziz and Ibn Abdul Wahhab and deviant Muslims, and we gotta fight them and we gotta kill them and we gotta banish them outside of Islam, and all the sisters gotta cover their face and only leave their eyes open this big. Come on, Imam Malik, and I gotta say this to all the Philly people. Imam Malik, he lived in the time of he was a leader of Medina, a leader of the Salah. He had ijazah from over 700 scholars in Medina alone. The place that they all turn to, their Qibla, the Salafi Qibla. Not in the time of Ibn Abdul Wahhab, not in the time of bin Baz, not in the time of Fawzan, not in the time of whoever, whatever rest of it, Madkhal and whoever. Imam Malik, he was 2 people away from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of his teachers was Nafir, the free slave of Umar, who his teacher was Ibn Umar, Umar's son. You don't think he know what Islam looked like? That's what I mean when I talk about unbroken chains. A chain, a connection back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was asked about wearing the niqab and gloves. He said that's extremism. I don't know nothing about that. They wasn't doing that in Medina during the time of the Prophet. So no. Let me rephrase that. They did it. They did it. It wasn't mandated. It wasn't mandated. We got both in Islam. If a sister can wear the whole niqab and she can wear all black and she don't show nothing but her eyes, alhamdulillah. Allah bless you, sister. Sisters. But the sisters that do not, that is not a sin. That is not haram. We got both and everything in between. Even if a sister is wearing tight clothes, I know the brothers don't want to hear that. You should have that ghira. But if she's wearing tight clothes, but she's covered, she's still wearing hijab. She's covered. When you see a person wearing tight clothes and stuff, you don't, they close to the edge. The next thing after tight clothes is no clothes. They on the edge. You don't nudge them. You don't nudge them. We got everything in between. Islam is merciful. Fiqh is beautiful. Islam is beautiful. It's a lot of stuff that they mandate in the Salafi Minhaj that was never mandated in the time of the Salaf and the time of the Sahaba. The niqab being one of them. The sister word the sister talked about the niqab. Y'all can wear you don't have to wear black, all black. You don't gotta wear that. They didn't wear all black in the time of the Prophet Islam or the Sahaba. They didn't wear all black. They wore everything. But you have to know your fiqh. You gotta look in the fiqh. You gotta look in the fiqh. The Muslims do know better than us. They didn't put that stuff in there. Those mandates. So that type of stuff could have made a difference for us for the sister. If she felt like she could wear a pink hijab and some how the normal most women dress, she wear pink hijab or whatever, then you fine. You can have a little flavor, sister. You can. Islam is lenient. You ain't got to get crazy with it to where you walk looking like a highlighter all the doggone time, but Islam is lenient. It ain't rigid like that. But with that being said, you don't challenge Allah. As you see here in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that if you challenging him, you taking yourself as a God, what you think, what you want to do, you taking that as a God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send that person astray. And then Allah ta'ala will block you, your eyes, your hearing, your seeing, and your heart. No truth will come into none of that. You won't be able to hear the truth. You won't be able to see it if you're trying to read it. And if you succeeded looking at something and hearing the truth, it ain't gonna go in your heart. Be afraid of that. Don't challenge Allah with that. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala said, فَمَنْ يَهْدِهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ اللَّهِ. And after Allah does that, who gonna guide him? Your mama can't help you. Your sister can't help you. Your friends can't help you. The believers can't help you. The sheikh can't help you. Nobody can help you. I'm terrified of that. I'm terrified. And then Allah challenged you again. Afala tadhakkarun. Y'all don't consider none of this? Do y'all not consider this? Allah's challenging us. You got to read this stuff. You got to read this stuff. Quit reading them Bin Baz books and all that stuff. Get into the Quran. Don't waste time with all that stuff. Go straight to the Quran. Go straight to the Sunnah. You will be okay. Mind you, you got to go through the four madhabs in order for you to get such. All of the tafsir, all of the hadiths, all of the everything was given and written by the people in the four madhabs. So you ain't gonna be able to get around it no way, shape, form, or fashion. All the Salafi Minhaj teachers do, they take the ayahs and they take the hadiths and then they put a Ibn Abdul Wahhab interpretation on it. That's all they do. Wallahi. So I'm done ranting about that. Before we close this up, I'm gonna get to these comments. There's a lot of comments. Uh, the sisters, my wife is hosting, and her sisters group. They're gonna have a sisters version of this conversation every Saturday. They kind of get together and on Clubhouse and just have sisterhood talks. Sometimes they get a little, what I mean, whatever. But you know, don't let that discourage you. That like they have a strong fortress built up for women because it's hard. It's very hard. Like the sister said, it's hard. They expect y'all are expected to cover yourselves. And before I go, let me explain to you how important it is to cover yourself. First and foremost, Allah Ta'ala told you to do it and actually told you to do it. So develop that strength when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands something, remove the possibility of you not doing it from your thought process. Get that in your game. You get that in your game, stuff it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be real easy. Just like making salah. It ain't no compromising that with me. Ain't no compromise. I'm doing that. I done lost jobs. I done been rolled up at prisons and wallahi, I got a ticket because I was okay. So they do what they call count time in prison. and I probably shouldn't have done this. I didn't know it at the time, but you got to sit on your bed when they come around to check and see if you're still there. That's what they're doing. They taking a head count. And I was praying, and the CO, I'm standing at the door. The CO banging on the door, telling me to sit down. But I was praying, and I'm about to start my prayer, or I was almost done. I was about to, man, you see, I'm standing right here, fool. Mark me here. He didn't. He wrote me up twice. He wrote me up twice. So I just said that to say I ain't compromising nothing. And that's in a place where if you disobey them folks, they will open that door and they will beat you know what, and it ain't nothing that nobody can do about it. Put it in your thought process. Put in your thought process when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command come, if you ain't got the strength to do it now, you're gonna develop the strength to do it. And you're gonna work towards developing the strength. I see all y'all working out, going to the gym. It's the same thing. Old head told me a long time ago. I was young in my Islam, and I was asking him about the salawat prayers, and he was like, "Yeah, you should do them." Boom, 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 boom. I was like, "Well, it's a hadith when the Prophet says a man came and said the five pillars, which is praying once a day in those five prayer. I mean, 5 times a day. Once none of the sunnahs." And the Prophet said, if that man walked when he walked away, he said, "Man, if he do that, he gonna be successful." I told that to the brother. He was like, "Well, brother, look at it like this." He like, how I always see you in the gym lifting weights and stuff. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He was like, "So how much you be lifting?" I was like 250. He like, "Okay." He like, "Did you go straight to that 250?" I was like, "Nah." He was like, "How'd you get it?" And I was like, I started out small and boom, boom. He like, "Yeah, that's what your sunnah prayers are." And when you in that gym and you pushing yourself, you're like, one more rep. One minute, my goal is to reach 250. My goal is to reach 275, 300. Or I want to do so many squats. Or I want to run so fast. I want to lose so much weight. You set those goals and then you go about the measures and the steps on how you going to do it. You need to have that same respect for your dean. If not, you're going to be lopsided. Imam Ali, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said the the dunya and the akhirah are on scales. The more you give one, you're going to lose in the other. Think about that. Think about that. So let's get to the comments. Sorry that went for so long, y'all. This is a topic that I'm passionate about because we have it's already hard for people, and we got other. So when people decide to change their life and they don't really have an incentive to change their life other than getting peace and wanting to be on the right path before they die, it's disturbed for one reason or another. So I'm very, very, very passionate about this topic. I apologize. It's been 2 hours, and I thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to be heard. And one last thing too, when you're struggling, go do more, don't do less. A common problem that we have is when we struggling, we take a break. If you take a break, you're gonna get weaker. And like you heard what the sister said, she said, "I just got weaker and weaker and weaker." Next thing you know, I don't have any iman. No, you got iman, sister. You got iman. She just dealing with some things that we all do. But when you're going through something, go to the dean. Go to the dean. It's your medicine. It's your prescription. Don't go away from it. Not doing it is definitely not going to make it better. And if you take off your hijab, all the sisters that's struggling with hijab, maybe I know it's hard to find a husband. We working on it in the community. We working on educating brothers and getting brothers up to an able, steady position in the community. I know it's hard, sisters. Um, but don't think that you taking off your hijab is gonna make you find the sheikh of the community. The men of knowledge, the men of dignity, any brother that's trying to do his best, we don't want the women that don't cover. That don't mean we won't do nothing haram with the women that don't cover. We'll do that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. We're gonna talk to you. We're gonna text you. We're gonna call you. We're gonna visit you. But the likeliness of you getting wifed From walking around naked is pretty slim, unless you live in Philly. uh, somebody said I missed the post. I guess rewind it. I don't know exactly what part that I read the post, but it was in the beginning of the video. It was within the first 15 minutes of the video. Mm. Hey, Ustadana Sufyan, Assalamu alaikum. Could you read the post so I can voice my nasiha? I don't know at this point if I should read it again because we're already at 2 hours. Let me look on. I can't see all the comments, y'all. So let me see. Let me look on the group so I can see who's commenting. If that was a sister that said that, then inshallah, sister that said that. Oops. Uh, then they're gonna have a sisters discussion because it gets kind of burn out. It get kind of burn out that brothers is always speaking on what sisters is doing and stuff because we don't, I don't understand the struggles of wearing hijab. All we want is like the sister said, we controlling the women. We expect you to wear it. So I don't understand the struggles of wearing it. And you might be a bad chick and you want to show the whole world that you're a bad chick, but we know that don't work. Rashid Johnson said that the Wahhabis took over the Georgia system. Yeah, that tends to happen when there's no true guidance. Uh, yeah. So Sister Malika said exactly that's what the Wahhabi problem. They don't have reliable teachers and leaders. I just expressed to our sisters group the importance of crying out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and never despairing the mercy of Allah ta'ala. Sound like Sister Malika Muhammad. I can't see. Let me see if it's on my page because I can't see that comment. Sound like brother Issa Shakir. What's up, man? Said brothers and sisters need to go back in the prisons and give dawah as well as advocate for our mu'minun behind bars for 100%, man. I can put y'all to sleep with so many stories that when we just left alone in there and it seemed like don't nobody care about it. So I can think the person was on YouTube because I don't see it. Sister Malika said, "Yeah, I used to struggle. I decided I wanted to do better in life, so I became Muslim." Absolutely. Ukhti Zakaria, Assalamu alaikum, what's going on? Said being guided and then turning away from guidance only makes life harder in this dunya and a torment in the next. For sure. Not control, but guide sounds better. Yeah, that's true. I just quoting the sister. She says she feel controlled or whatnot, but Uh, hey, Uncle Ali, Abdul Samir Ali, what it do, Sister Rakaya, Salam alaikum, Salam alaikum, Sister Jamila, Amatullah. I don't not say this person on Facebook. I can't see who asked for the post. Salam alaikum, Abdul Saeed. I can't just go back on the video because this got way too long. Uh, we need to know who you talking about. I assume it's the same person. So on this little platform that I got on StreamYard, it don't show me sometimes like the people who's saying it. So don't think that I'm ignoring you or nothing. I can't see like I literally can't see what you say. See, look, it just says Facebook user. It said we need to know who you're talking about. No, no, I don't want to expose her. I don't want her to feel exposed. I don't want her to feel like I'm coming for her or none of that. I just wanted to get some nasiha because I was alarmed that so many sisters was agreeing with her decision to take a break on Islam. I'm pretty sure you're gonna come across the pros. It's going viral. I feel like I'm in class and I don't know the subject. Okay, well, just rewind the video. The subject was just talking about. So I put the title, and it's scrolling on the bottom. Struggling with your faith. Then I put in parentheses, in particular, what we talking about. I don't know when you made those comments, so I'm pretty sure you seen that by now. And I see how it is for sincerity and to enjoy what's right and forget the wrong. I bang with a Salafi Sisters group, and it's all good. Alhamdulillah. And rather, we only come in peace and only here to help and provide understanding. So, man, just say what the post is. Nah, I'm not saying what the post is. Who but what? I assume that's Naima that's saying that. Sheikh Ahmad Suyuti. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you for providing us with this most needed topic. I look at you as one of the firemen among Muslims. Alhamdulillah. That's what I always say, putting out all the unnecessary fires. That's what I always like to say. I tell people all the time, I'm not a sheikh, I'm not a big imam. I'm trying to connect people with the shuyukh and the aima. But I am a fireman. If I see something burning, as a civilian, you go and try to put it out you know, and then the house is burning down. I'm gonna call the firemen and the people, but I'm gonna go make my effort, even though I'm not a fireman. So the shuyukh and the aima are the firemen and women. I'm trying to hook y'all up with the firemen and women. Inshallah. They muted me. Did I get muted? Sometimes people say they left Islam, but honestly, they don't really leave. They just still believe. Like, yeah, yeah, they just be taking a break, and sometimes people be stressed out. Janiqua Dixon says, SubhanAllah, I don't know the sister, but I have been here before, and Alhamdulillah, I'm working hard on my way back, man. Let Allah bring her back to what is correct. I mean. Assalamu alaikum, Hafsa. He said, may Allah Ta'ala protect us all and guide her back to the deen. I mean. Allahumma ameen. Sufyan al-Andalusi, he said someone should give her the time she needs until she gets past this period and then try to help, not judge, etc. Absolutely. I think Sister Nyla and I'm going to invite her to the group. But when it's kind of touchy when people be like in that fed up stage, they don't want to hear nobody, they don't want to talk to nobody. They just kind of self medicate. They gonna listen to a little bit of music and chill out or whatever. But if you've been Muslim for 7 years, and as far as I understand, the sister was going hard. Like she was running that group I was telling y'all about. It's like 1,300 people in that group. That's you was going hard. So yeah, that was your new reality. I believe inshallah ta'ala should come back. Allah ta'ala. The changer of hearts change her heart. I mean, even the best and most knowledgeable have weak iman at times. I think the sister will be okay. She realizes what she's going through as long as she continues to recognize that La ilaha illallah comes first and foremost. That's a fact. Masayuti said, what people need to understand is that this is the ultimate impact of following the Salafiyah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put no blessing in this, and everyone it appears within 7 to 10 years, the followers fall away from it. And Ahlul Sunnah, it's scary to see people join Salafiyah not knowing that this will ultimately happen. Wallahi, I got friends that's been Muslim and teaching in the community for 30 years. This is a real thing. They call it the Salafi burnout. Wallahi. We joke amongst Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We call this the Salafi burnout. You just take the hardest routes with everything, and you calling everybody deviants, and you making taqleed with the wrong aqidah, and you get the people are believing in stuff that is actually haram. Like them believe like the Salafi imams teach that Allah has body parts. That is haram, and that is kufr. That's haram and it's kufr. That's a consensus amongst all the scholars of all times until it reached Ibn Abdul Wahhab, and then he decided to change it. So we need to be really careful. 556 is our blueprint, absolutely. Ahmed Sidi said, not trying to be overly harsh, but this is something I've seen over and over and over again without exception. So I guess I'm hitting the nail on the head. Native Muslim Americans need their own leadership, not fealty for anyone else. Let me put that comment up there. That is a fact. It's actually the Sunnah. Jazzy O. That's a cool name. Sound like it said, please. Sound like it says, please leave this up. I'm working. I want to come back to it, please. Oh yeah, definitely, sister. Definitely. It's posted on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can't do. Well, I can go live on Instagram. I just don't have it connected to here, but it's posted in the group. Sister Nyla said, Allah Ta'ala tells us that we would be tested, so it's given. It will happen even if we decide to leave Islam. The trials and tribulations will continue. Very good point. You're gonna pick up more problems by leaving Islam. And you ain't gonna have no help because you're not following Islam. Ibn Charles, what's going on, man? Salam alaikum. Charlene Dunham, what's up, sis? Hope y'all doing all right down there in H-Town. Hey, Sister Leah, what's happening? She said we as a black community and Muslims need these reminders and life lessons that we can relate to. Some don't know how to break this vicious cycle. Our knowledge needs to go deeper than the surface. Sah, that's a fact, big fact. Ukhti Zakaria said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't need you, you need him. It's a blessing to be able to offer salah. I mean, ratchet at sister house said ratchet at home and in a good way. Right. See, that's what the sisters do. Yeah, it's a sister group. Y'all can go into that. Sufyan said, like the Khawari Sheikh. Hey, wait, man, if you look at the list, like I seen a list of the innovations that the Khawarij had and a list of the innovations that the Salafis had, like the teachers, not the people, it's almost identical. It'll terrify you. Sean Alaikum, Tina Thomas. All right, y'all, this is getting too long. So let me see if there's anything else I need to respond to. Oh, I forgot. This is running on Clubhouse. Let me make sure ain't nobody. Uh, nope, I don't see nobody. I don't see any questions on Clubhouse. My voice is going away by the second. Okay, I don't see no questions on Clubhouse. He said, "Sheikh, lay off us authorities." Nah, man, I'm authority at heart, and we, and I'm authority at heart. That's the first thing we teach in the Ash'ari school. That's the reflex right there is tafweed. Ahmed Suti said, to know your prophet, religion, and Lord in a real way makes it more than a set of precepts to defeat people with. That's deep. And in actuality, the truth that has been handed down by righteous teachers from the beginning into now. That's true. And remember, we can't discard and underscore the isnads, the chains, the unbroken chains. We can't toss that aside like it's nothing. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the scholars are the inheritors of the deen. So that's a prophetic thing. Tina Thomas said, It's hard when you're the only one in your family that's Muslim and gets proper guidance is and getting proper guidance is rare. A lot of Muslims are not very welcoming in Philadelphia. Oh, we know. This is one of the reasons why I have this streaming platform is because I've been made aware of this throughout my tenure since I've been home. Sister 10 times. I don't know if you in the sisters group. I'll post the link, inshallah. The sisters group that my wife runs. I think it's like it's like 500 something people in there. So you're getting a lot of perspectives from all over the place, and it's a woman perspective. It's a woman's ran group. They do everything according to the Quran and Sunnah. And if they ever run into a hiccup, they have me. If I don't know, they have a brother Imam Abu Muhammad, Ustad Jomo, Ustad Saleh Abdul Majid, Imam Nadir Abdullah, Imam Khalil, Ustad Malik. We and if none of us don't know, we can still get with other people. Some of our shuyukh, we connected to Imam Amin, we connected to Imam Naeem. We straight, we good for the most part. For the most part, we good. So it's a good support group to be in, and y'all have the backup of some brothers that are staunch in the Deen, they strong in the Deen, and yeah. And if we can't get it, we can find it, or we can get y'all with somebody that can find it. Most of the time, inshallah. Aziz Aiken, Salam Alaikum. He said, "Reach black man, teach." And they say each one teach one. Uh, Talking about how cliquish it is in Philly amongst the sisters. Yeah, I hear that all the time. Naya Bintu Doni, Salam Alaikum. Salam Alaikum, Sister Lily. What's happening? How about them cowgirls? Messing with you. Sister Tasha Salam Alaikum. She said, then those mothers are not getting along, ready to fight each other. I guess she said that when I was talking about the baby mom, baby daddy drama. Just goes on to the children, the daddies too, be ready to fight each other as well. Yeah, we got real problems, man, and we need the Quran and the Sunnah to fix those real problems. Those problems are not going to go away by us trying to handle it ourselves. Issa Shafi said, being black and applying to a job uh, is perceived the same way as being white with a felony and applying for the same job with the same qualifications. Uncle Farouk, big brother, Farouk Thomas, what's happening, man? Like Islam, Allah. Sister Malika said, right, be your husband's peace. Don't add to the problem. Yeah, we going through it, man. Brother Farouk said, not nursing school, I'm dead. My mom's a nurse. Ukhdijia Fernandez. Assalamu alaikum. She said, I've always said that the biggest mistake people make to have a detrimental effect on their financial health is carelessly having children with the wrong people, unfortunately. And that's a whole live stream by itself. Alhamdulillah, Sister Gia, you have a sheikh. So, inshallah ta'ala, you having babies with the right person. May Allah ta'ala give y'all a bunch of shuyukh and inshallah ta'ala and a bunch of hufad. I mean, got the bills down to a T. Oh, for sure. For sure. It's still cheaper than raising kids full time. Paying child support? Man, you crazy. He said you done lost your mind. I don't see no women that's raising kids full time spending no $1,000 on their kids. Well, when they buying school clothes and school shoes and stuff, they are footing the bill by themselves. But most of the time, in those situations, the sisters got to break on rent and they got to break on food with food stamps. So it ain't easier. It's easier. It's not harder. For men, we ain't getting no food stamps and we ain't getting no break on rent. We still got to pay that. We got to pay the child support, and we still expected to be a man at the house with our new woman and still pay them bills. But we can't marry both of them though. I had to throw that in there. You got to pay both bills in both households. You got to take care of both households, but you can't marry both of them or three or four of them. I ain't gonna say 10, even though a lot of brothers got 10 baby mamas. We got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems, and leaving Islam is not shouldn't be one of them. Sister Oakley Zakaria said a system is set up for melanated males to fail and females to be alone with our fathers and their kids' lives. That's a fact. Sister Hafsa, she said, Hafsa, she said, we hunted, men are hunted by the cops, jealous boys trying to kill you, and no father figure to support the system. Y'all know what's going on? Yeah, she read sexy red. And give her my bar and tell her I don't want nothing but $1,000. I'll say that in the next. Sister Tasha said, my husband has 7 children and 4 different mothers. All 3 had put him on child support. Man, that's just crazy. That's just insane. We got to do better. Ahmed Suyuti said, an American pop culture is designed to keep you in the cycle of drugs, whether the drugs are music, fornication, or physical drugs. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I'm still leaving guidance and protection to down what? Yeah, exactly. I was going good in the comments today. Y'all like when I be gossiping. Y'all better see this many. I better see this many people on the fiqh and Akida classes. Every time I'm gossiping or I'm mutha banging, it be thick on the live stream. I'm gonna expect to see y'all in class tomorrow. Inshallah. Mr. Shaki said it's a mixed bag of responsibility for real. Both genders need serious work. That's a fact. It's a big fact. The ironic part is they quote Ash'ari and Sufi scholars. Ooh, that is true. One of the Sufi scholars that they always quote and that they love is Sheikh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. He was a Sufi. Sheikh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah is buried in an honorable Sufi cemetery. I bet after all the Salafi see this, they're gonna go dig him up. Jacquees Abdullah Ghani. So women should be covered. Absolutely. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, you had the glasses, Issa. Like the sisters wear the all black, but them glasses be shy, man. Brother gonna look when you see the big glasses with and it's not haram. You can do it. You can do it. They can do it. Brothers gonna look though. I'm telling you right now. So it defeats the purpose of wearing all black and wearing in the car. It defeats the purpose. If there was any like akal in that, in that filth that they practice. Says the problem is these sisters are posting uncovered pics, and the Muslim brothers are hyping them up, liking the pics and posts, and telling them how beautiful they look. Yeah, that's true. Man, we ain't got time to go there. That's true. That's true. That's true. But y'all listen, sisters, y'all gotta take the responsibility. Allah put the responsibility on you, not us. We gonna look. I'm not the chef, so I can say that. We gonna look. The Prophet Islam told you we're going to look. Why do you think Allah told you to cover? He told us to, control our glance, but Allah told you to cover, mandated that you cover. Ain't no controlling no knobs. How's that working out for you, sister? The Prophet ﷺ said the first look was for Shaitan. He told us that this is a natural thing. Men got a sex drive way up here. We compute millions of sperm a day. Y'all ovulate once a month. It's lopsided like that. If y'all ain't came to that realization yet, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna put it like this. It's like rolling around in pig's blood and then jumping into a pool of piranhas and then saying, hey, you're not supposed to eat me. How's that working out for you? Tie it down, sister. We want what we see. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't put your money into the feminism. Don't put your money in that. And we up, and I'm not shaming, but we up 3 husbands and children with each one of them husbands. We up 3. That ain't working. Tie it down. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it real with you. And I'm gonna tell you from a man's point of view. We want what we see. We don't want to marry what we want, everything we want to see. And I'm just being honest. As a man, we be like, it look good, I want it. Sister, what's your dowry? That's it. It's that simple with men. Women make the mistake of thinking men think like women. We don't. We don't. We have a more animalistic understanding when it comes to sex. Tie it down. Allah told you to tie it down. It's for your own benefit. When a brother see a sister properly covered, it makes him think differently. I'm telling you right now. When we see a woman improperly covered, I'ma keep it real with you. The first thing that come to our minds is she's easy. I don't care how cute you are, how nice your Louis Vuitton bag is, how nice the Benz is that you drive. I'm trying to find a way to mac all that. That's just how men think. Stop thinking that men are gonna think some other kind of way. It has never worked in the history, and it never will work. What does work is what the guidance of Allah. When Allah said tie it down, when you tie it down, when a brother look, he be like, I just can't come at this sister any kind of way. Wallahi. And the sisters that, don't do the best job covering, and even non-Muslim women, they don't cover nothing at all. That just brings out the animal in a man. It does. When you see a woman and she ain't covered right or whatever, we don't think like, oh, I need to lower my gaze. We'd be like, okay, I'm gonna make her my third wife. We're men. Don't put your money on nothing else. Seriously, don't put your money on nothing else. So if a sister posts a picture and brothers is liking it, that's a reflex. That's a knee jerk reflex. 9 times out of 10, a brother liked the picture or he heart the picture, it just be out of him being mesmerized. He didn't think about it. Think about it afterwards, but he didn't think about it. That's the science of it. Don't put your money on that. And that's a tough conversation to have. Man. It really is. Assalamu alaikum, Tiffany Watson. Said, yes, the hijabi is supposedly more pious. Oh, the niqabi. She said the nijabi. I know she meant the niqabi. The niqabi is supposedly more pious because her face is covered. Not technically, because the face isn't mandated to cover. The Prophet Islam, when a woman who was, when he told the woman who was dressed improperly in front of him, when she asked him what should be covered, he said everything but the face and the hands. So it's not. It doesn't mean that she can be. Listen, I seen a video of a sister who wears niqab on the regular twerking. So a sister that wear niqab isn't necessarily more pious. It's a sign of piety. It can be. I've seen it. I seen a sister going live. She was from Philly, and all of them were hijabis, and they was all like dancing and twerking in the living room, going live. Her and like 2 daughters, 3 or 4 daughters, something like that. Crazy. She was going live, and she wears niqab on most of the time. This is way too long. But I mean, y'all here for it. Comments are still coming. Y'all still watching. We here. We going hard today. I'm trying to get all the long comments. If one has the Ahmed Suyuti said, if one has the recitation of Abdul Basit, Abdul Samad, rahmatullah alayh. What a wonderful companion to listen to and have for for company. Subhanallah. Man, that brother, he the coldest. He's the Jay-Z of recitation. Jacques said, wow, Aki's shaking my head. What you shaking your head about? What you on? Somebody said sick hearts. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Sister Tasha said, our Ummah is definitely struggling. Like Tupac said, my people are in a state of emergency. That's a fact. Who labeled Tiffany Watson? Who labeled who what? Who labeled the Salafis the Salafis? Is that what you asking? Okay, so this has got too long, y'all. So I'm gonna hang it up. If y'all got any questions, Sheikh Makbul and Fawzan taught them there is no culture or politics in Islam when clearly the Sirah respected culture, tribes, and politics. 100. 100. All the time they be, Aki, this is Asabiya. Whatever. Hell, said somebody supposed to say on television. Jazakumullah khaira, ukhti Zakarida. Where you from where they say business? You put a Z in it. There's a T in it where I'm from. Business. What the young folks say, he's standing on business. Tiffany Watts said that's funny because the same brothers be in inboxes sending unsolicited pics of their private part. This is true. That's true. We can't get around that. I cannot get around that. Mm, okay. Jazakumullah khaira. Hey, Sister Anissa, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, very beautiful talk reminder and slash reminder, my brother. I mean, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you. I mean, wa iyyakum. Jamila Amatullah, she said, I could keep going. This has been so beneficial to me. I was one of the sisters that commented on her status. Whoa, subhanallah. You said this an hour ago. Sorry, I didn't see it an hour ago. I was trying to ignore the comments so I don't lose train of my thought and I don't lose what people say. I mean, what I want to say. She said, I was one of the sisters that commented on her status, stating that I understand exactly how she feel. I cried plenty of nights feeling the guilt. Sister Jamila, join Sister Nyla's group. They go hard. They go hard. They go real hard. I'm very proud of their group because the women are leading the way in Islam. The more women come to these types of durus than men. So when the women, that's why I said earlier, I'm hard on the women because y'all are in charge, uh, every way, shape, form, and fashion. Y'all be watching these live streams and y'all learn this stuff. And women run social media. So when y'all posting stuff and reposting stuff and y'all learn stuff and then post it, like so if y'all attend like these durus or these lectures and stuff and y'all learn stuff, y'all post it and people pay attention to y'all, especially brothers, like the sister said. Brothers be all on the status like mashallah, sister, nice niqab. Of course. So, the sisters, y'all are controlling the influence. Alhamdulillah. So y'all got a lot of responsibility. Y'all got a lot of responsibility, and y'all are the ones that's becoming Muslim and bringing the kids into Islam. And brothers are seeing this, and they like, man, that's wifey material right there, and wife you, and y'all set the women set the standard. My father told me a man never knows what kind of man he is until he knows what kind of woman he wants. So y'all setting the standard. Give us Sister Nyla, on here. Inshallah ta'ala, I post the link. I can't post it in here because you won't be able to hit the link. So I post it afterwards to the group. That sisters group is integral. Everything is going through the women right now. So it's important that, y'all be right and exact. And I appreciate you tuning in for this. And I didn't see you on the post, sisters. I actually didn't look at the post. I was just listening to my companions, and they told me what was going on. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it. I don't want to see the comments. I don't want to see the people comment. So don't think I said anything like about you when I was saying, hey, people was commenting on it. My wife actually told me that, so I didn't see it myself. Taco Tuesday. Yeah, my tacos are cold now. They ice cold. Sister Nahla, I mean, alhamdulillah, these are some beautiful reminders. MashaAllah, man. Let's Allah keep us on the straight path and guide us all. We are all struggling in some way. I mean, okay, we got to go for real this time. The importance of a Fatiha is wajib for the benefit of the believers. All right, y'all, we gone. So Saturday, there's going to be the sisters group that's associated with this platform is having part two of this talk. We're not bashing the sisters. This is a problem in our community, and we're addressing this problem. So I advise that all the sisters attend. If you got something to give to the group, they let you speak and stuff. So join that group. They got some great things going on, man. I done seen people take that. Listen, the brothers got to get on, man. The brothers we getting out work. Them every time I go to work and I come back, now it'll be like another sister took shahada, or some sister, she's studying the madhabs now. Alhamdulillah, they put in work. They giving like 2, 3, 4, 5 shahadas a week. Christian women are listening in and seeing the beauty of Islam via women. It's a good group. It's sad that men are too arrogant to get together and put in this type of work. But like I said, the women is setting the pace. So, all right, last comment is going to go to Brother Isa. That's my guy. He said, I wonder if this is uniquely American slash African American problem like the other culture where Islam has been a part of it for centuries, have unique styles of dress and all types of colors, but I don't hear people jumping down their throats about it. That's actually the evidence. That's actually the evidence that wearing all black and covering your face is not mandatory. Islam has been in Africa long way before Ibn Abdul Wahhab was ever even walked the face of the planet. And we all see how them sisters, generations of them sisters have been dressing, and it's accepted, and nobody ever said nothing until he came along. So that's actually evidence. All right, y'all, we gone. This is 2.5 hours. This is crazy. But alhamdulillah, we putting in work. And, we just made dhikr for 2.5 hours. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on us and protect our iman, keep our feet strong on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala endow us with the beneficial knowledge, the knowledge that pleases him, and the knowledge that's in line with the pure Quran and Sunnah and the way of his companions. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our tawbah for our bad actions and convert our bad actions into the maximum reward of good actions. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring that sister and any other sisters and that brother and any not that brother, excuse me, any other brothers who may be struggling in Islam. And we all have a struggle one way or another. But if you're struggling and on the verge of giving up and you're on the edge, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them, keep them in Islam, and make their iman grow And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the believers tawfiq to support each other and to support uh, the ones that are having a hard time practicing the deen. I mean, Allahumma, I mean. I love y'all all for the sake of Allah. If I said anything wrong, I had a slip of a tongue. It doesn't belong to Allah. It does not belong to the Messenger. It does not belong to the Sahaba, the Salaf. It does not belong to Islam. It belongs to my ignorance. Feel free to correct me if I said anything wrong or misquoted something or anything. Let me know, and inshallah ta'ala, I'll make it public and correct my mistake. I love y'all for the sake of Allah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله ولا إله إلا الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.